employ so many Marylanders at so many locations that are headquartered here in the state. We got this facility and a number of others. But they've been involved in this really important mission of trying to develop and produce, manufacture these vaccines that are so critical to saving lives. And they're working with 2 of the vaccine candidates. They're the manufacturers. They've been producing these already. As soon as we get these EUAs approved, hopefully we'll be able to start the delivery of some of these vaccines. That's our big issue. As you know, you've been following us around today and over the past week at these mass vaccination sites and at county health department sites, and hearing about the infrastructure that we're building. This is the other big part of the program, and that is the production of the vaccines and the manufacturing, increasing the supply. We will continue to be able to ramp up. We can handle as many doses as we can get our hands on. We're going to put them in the arms of somebody. We made great progress over the past few weeks. I think the latest stats today were over 700,000 vaccinations have been completed on first doses. 86% of the ones that we have been provided and allocated. We have 100% of them deployed and delivered to 2,200 different locations where they're actually providing the vaccines. And while it's still very frustrating to everyone who can't get a vaccine, we're making progress every day. We receive about 10,000 a day from the federal government. On Friday, we did 38,000 vaccinations. So we just need more. We can crank that up to 50,000, 100,000 a day if we have the supply. But we'll be happy to. I don't know if you guys want to say a few things.
No, I'd just like to thank the governor.
Bob is the CEO of the company.
Can you say your name is spelled for us?
Yeah, my name is Bob Kramer, K-R-A-M-E-R. I'm the CEO and president of the company, and just want to thank the governor and his staff for coming here today. It means a lot to our employees. They've been working around the clock for the better part of the last year, trying to get us ready to be in a position where we can make literally hundreds of millions of doses of a COVID vaccine available to the public, and proud to be part of this effort, and couldn't be more proud of them for all of their hard work and dedication who have gotten us to this point. And again, thanks to the governor for helping us protect them, because that's a key aspect of ensuring the integrity of the supply chain. So, Sean?
I would only add, to put a finer point on Bob's last comment, how deeply appreciative we are of the support to get our employees vaccinated. These 300 plus individuals are responsible for producing hundreds of millions of doses of life-saving vaccines. So it means the world to us, and we very much appreciate it, Governor.
Thank you.
Your name is spelled for us? Sean, S-E-A-N, Kirk, K-I-R-K. Executive Vice President of Manufacturing and Technical Operations.
Yeah, we're very happy to do that. You know, we were talking about this earlier today. The allocations from the federal government, they're in our phase 1 distribution, it goes to frontline healthcare workers and critical workers, and obviously these folks that are working on the production and manufacturing of these life-saving vaccines are critical to us in every way. And so we were happy in a partnership with Rite Aid to make sure that we got some vaccinators here to take care of protect their frontline workers so they can keep doing the job. And just like the NIH and the FDA both reached out to us because they didn't have any federal vaccines, and they asked us for help as well, and we had to send them a supply from the state. Anybody got any questions?
Governor, what would you recommend in terms of registering for appointments? People just kind of register as many places as possible and hope something sticks, or stick with one place? Or?
Well, the real issue is, again, the supply of vaccines. So you can't schedule appointments for vaccines we don't have. As I mentioned, nearly 100% of all the vaccines we have either been put in somebody's arm or scheduled for an appointment. And we don't want to, with no supply, we don't want anybody scheduling appointments for 6 months from now. We're going to wait and see what kind of a supply we get next week and the week after that and the week after that, and do more appointments. I know it's very frustrating. Everybody would like to get the vaccine immediately. We understand that. We're given about 10,000 a day. We can't do any more than that. I was in a facility in Baltimore County today that can do about 2,000 an hour, and they're doing 400 a day because we don't have the vaccines. We stood up Six Flags in Largo last week, where we can do 6,000 a day, and we started out at 250. I think by tomorrow we'll be up to 2,000. The issue is you can't schedule appointments for vaccines we don't have. It doesn't make sense. The first people to get it are scheduled. They're also scheduled for their second dose, and it's a difficult process. The issue is far more people need and want and qualify for the vaccine than we have vaccines.
I know if I take the mask off, you haven't seen me in a while.
Yeah.
With all of last year, with all of you talking to the governors, with all the things you personally went through, and all this now, are you seeing light?
Yeah.
Are you seeing...
Well, this is very exciting. Like today, being here with these gentlemen and having a chance to thank some of their team. One of your crews is coming here. But have people come, seeing this is a really exciting development. The fact that we're very close to emergency use authorizations for a couple of additional vaccine candidates that we may be manufacturing right here in the state of Maryland, that's very hopeful. We push every day with the Biden administration. I know everybody in the partnership, the federal, state, and local government, our private sector partners, everybody's trying to do everything we can to increase the amount of vaccines, and that's the hopeful part. I mean, we're still concerned that we're not getting enough this done fast enough. It is a race against the variants. It's vaccines versus variants. We have to get this thing picked up, and it has to go faster. But I think everybody's trying at every level to do that, and it's hopeful. The fact that we've got 700,000 people vaccinated in a few weeks' time is pretty. I know it's not enough, and people are not happy, and I'm not happy with where we are. But it's a heck of a lot. I mean, we started out in testing back in the spring doing 50 a day, and we went to 50,000. We've now done 7.2 million. The same thing is going to happen with vaccines in the next 30 to 60 days. Heading into the spring, it's going to be very hopeful.
Governor, what are the two vaccine candidates that you're making here? And how long does it take to make one? I'm not talking about just going through the FDA process, but actually like cook up the recipe and make it.
Cooking it up.
I think maybe we heard from Pfizer it takes 110 days, and now because the feds are doing the emergency stuff, they can maybe cut it in half. Can you give us an idea of the two candidates and the timeline for baking them?
So in this facility, we're manufacturing what's called the bulk drug substance for the AstraZeneca and Johnson & Johnson vaccine candidates. From here, we freeze the purified viral vectors down and ship them out to other organizations who fill them into vials. Each one of the individual manufacturing processes can take several weeks, but the positive part is that over the last several months, we've ramped up overall capacity, so we have multiple different production systems running at the same time to maximize the number of doses that we can put through here, or bulk drug substance dose equivalents, and be able to produce those hundreds of millions of doses over the coming months.
So it's weeks, a matter of weeks, not months, to make.
For our particular part of the process, recognizing there's another step where they have to leave here and go be filled into vials and then ultimately tested and released for the U.S. population use.
You got one last question.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So a little while back, I don't have all the time, you made sure the plane came in with the PPE, I don't know all the terms.
Yeah.
The plane came in to deliver stuff.
Right.
Now something is being made in Maryland.
Yeah,
Do you feel like I don't want to say proud.
No, I am very proud. I was just telling these gentlemen we're so proud that this great Maryland company, who we've already been bragging about before this, who we're so thrilled to have here in the state of Maryland. Some of you can go back and look. My first comments about this virus were back in February, a month before we got our first case, where I said that this new novel coronavirus was about to hit our shores, and that it was my hope that one day Maryland companies would actually be involved in the developing a vaccine. And here we are today, as the company not only has helped develop the vaccine, they've already produced the vaccines, which are really literally ready to be shipped, many of them, the next day after they get the authorization.
Governor, one last question for you. Mayor Brandon Scott has asked Johnson & Johnson to basically go around the feds in the state and sell directly to Baltimore City. Any response to that idea?
I didn't see the details of it. I think it's a nice try. I mean, everybody would like to jump to the front of the line, but it's not going to happen. Neither the states nor local governments or anybody else or any other countries are going to get around the process. The federal government is going to do that directly.
So let me put it this way. Is it frustrating that something is made here, you're going to have to watch get shipped out to the federal government and maybe not come back?
Well, it is going to come back. I mean, everything has been distributed to the states on a pro rata population basis. That's the way it's going to continue. We talk to the Biden administration folks almost every day. I don't have any concerns about that. We wish we could get more vaccines for ourselves, but we understand everybody's in the same boat, and we're just proud that this Maryland company is such a huge part of the process, and we'll be proud to be saving people in other states too.
Last question.
I'm from South Korea.
Yes, welcome.
Other countries, including South Korea, are very interested in the Johnson & Johnson the vaccine.
Yes.
My question is it possible to produce enough vaccines here to export to other countries as contracted?
Well, first of all, let me say that I've spoken to your science minister and to the ambassador from South Korea about this issue. I know that they've been working very hard, and they're in discussions with a number of vaccine manufacturers about acquiring them. But that's something that I don't know if the companies want to talk about, but it's the manufacturers have contracts with different countries. I know the first supplies I think are already spoken for, but I know they're working very hard to try to work with South Korea.
It might be important just to understand that, Emergent is one of the key suppliers for both J&J and AstraZeneca. So we're here to establish a durable supply chain solution for both those companies. And we obviously will meet our commitments to supply them with vaccine. What they do with it from there, in terms of how much is used domestically versus globally, that's really up for them and the government to decide.
One question to you.
Yes, sir.
And I asked the governor just now.
Yeah.
I want to use the word pride. I mean, I'm not assuming. You've got great workers here. The governor, you're right here at Hopkins. Is there a sense of being a part of this and making a difference? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, there's a tremendous sense of pride that I have, that I'm sure Sean and the entire management team has. We've been at this site for almost 10 years, and it's nice to be in a position to make a valuable contribution to society in terms of making, again, hundreds of millions of doses of a COVID vaccine available. I couldn't be more proud of the employees, what they've done, their passion, their commitment, their perseverance to do, quite frankly, in 10 months' time, what traditionally takes the better part of 2 or 2.5 years to accomplish. This team has done in 10 months, so it's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
That's it, guys.
Great
Thank
last
you.
question and answer. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Really appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Thank you. I still have somebody's mic here.
Sean, how are you?
Hey, it's good to see you.
We talked last week.
I know I got all this spray on me.
On Zoom. It's good to see
Yeah.
you.
I know I got all this spray.
You were hiding it under the mask.
But it's good to see you. It's good to see you. Thank you. You're doing good? Thank you.
He'll do it for Lisbon.
It's so hard.
Can I talk to you real quick? I forgot to do earlier.
I thought I went like this. I heard that.
Somebody's transmitter.
How many doses do you have ready to go? If this thing is
I don't know.
That's the question everybody wants answered, and we can't answer that. We're under a supply agreement.